But I like, because I can't even say ladies and gentlemen or boys and girls or anything like that these days, so I'll be politically correct and just say hello. Hope you're all well. I am not particularly so well. You may wonder why. You might think, oh, it's because I'm a little bit drunk. Not yet, I ain't. It's too freaking hot to be even close to being drunk. So I'll try a bit harder. It's already fucking warm. Pardon my English. I just took this out of the fucking fridge. Pardon my fridge, I doubt it. Anyway, I'm just back from a lengthy walk, and as some of you may or may not know, sometimes I get a little bit inspired from my lengthy walks. Not tonight, no. I wished I'd just brought more beer with me because it's so tad warmish, as we call it here in Australia. I was only walking around outside in the heat of the sun at 42 degrees centigrade today, frying my brain. So, you know, but this is what happens when people say, get a job. Okay. So I got a job. Now I know why people don't like having jobs. It's, anyway, because the philosophical side of me tends to there goes my star. Because the philosophical side of me tends to think we shouldn't have to be working in menial jobs simply just to have a living. There's a little grain of seed been grown inside of me for some time now. It's been coming to fruition, as it should, as well-planted seeds do. It says, well, maybe that people shouldn't have to be working their guts out just to survive like menial slaves. Now, I could be wrong about that. If you like being a menial slave, keep being a menial slave so you can struggle to exist, pay your entire life to pay off debts, so that when you finally die, the children will have to, well, just before you die really, you know, they've planned it out pretty well. They've planned out your whole life ahead of you. Just before you die, you're going to become senile, and you're going to get put into a nursing home, and that's going to pretty much cost the price of your home, so they get all that investment back again. And if they don't get it all, they'll just take it out at the funeral anyway. And then, what, leave a few pittances to your children so that they may also get into debt their entire lives to pay off their home so that they live it at the end. It's a very clever system. A clever. Hang on. By Clary Weber. I think that's the term I was looking for. Clary Weber. By Clary Weber. you know what I was really trying to say. Very clever motherfuckers. G'day, Ron. How you doing, buddy? Oh, I should just put my glasses back on so I can read it without squinting at the screen, but I can't see anything for like 5 meters. It's like, how are you, Ron? Good man. Smart man. We understand how we've been deceived for so long. And so when I walked tonight, I thought about, many things. I've been thinking about Tartaria for quite some time, trying to work out how that fits into the picture. And then you think about this, the Holy Crusades. Head out to work? Ah, you poor slave. I've been doing that all day. Ooh, door just shut by itself. Creepy. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got up at 3 a.m. and it's about like, I think 11 p.m. or something here. And then we are 6:30 a.m. Oh mate, you must be then on the other side of the plane somewhere, where the 24-hour hand of the sun goes around us. So anyway, have a good day, Ron. No worries, mate. Bloke, you can catch up Florida. Awesome. So 6:30 a.m. And my method of telling the time is on this device I'm looking at, and if I looked at it, I'd lose my video capability productions. This little tablet device here, though, may have got charge. Powered by Android. I'm pretty sure it's about 11 or maybe 10, whatever it was, 36-ish. Who cares? I had such a long, hot day in the sun today. 42 degrees centigrade is pretty bloody hot. And it wasn't too bad. Could have been a lot worse. You just handle it, do what you have to do. All good. Oh, this one looks fucking 10. What is it again? I can't remember. 7, 8, 9, 3. Oh, I didn't say that out loud, did I? Bugger it. Now the hackers will be onto that. Anyway. What sort of work do you do, Ron? I do traffic control. That's why I hang on to this, to build up my traffic control strengths. It's been the best job I've had in ages. I actually really enjoyed it. Today was awesome. But, I was trying to talk about, you're in it. Wish I could get in it. That was a joke. In case you didn't realize. We all want to get into it. I just missed the last one. Fibre optic cables. Okay. I was into it for a while too myself, actually. I was helping traffic control while they were doing it. Drilling in fibre optic for this Australia's great big NBN, connecting the world. Okay, can you move that little... Oh, bloody shit. Some weird message came up. I just didn't need to see. Ooh, a second looker. Just give me 1 second. Oh, come on. 11:33 p.m. Fate or what? Fate and destiny has always ruled my life. Numerology, numbers, fate and destiny. 11:33. Go figure. Guess what? I got a water bill today, and so I was talking to this bloke that lives with me, and I'm saying, you'd think our water bill would have gone up heaps more now that he's living, you know, in the spare room or the sort of granny room type place of the place. And our water bill should have gone up heaps more. The water bill itself has come down, but guess what our fixed fee is? It says 66. Oh, fuck, shut up. It says $66.64. And I'm like, hang on a sec. So the fixed fee for having water connected to this house, which the landlords pay, is $666. Now 4. I'm not really impressed with that. 666. Come on. I mean, 666 comes up too often, way too often. It's quite infuriating in a way. And then the number 4 in the numbers of fate and destiny. 4 is fate, 8 is destiny. 4 and 8 is basically fate. 4 in the way of things is death. So here's my water bill, the water of life. 666, death. And they did just recently reintroduce fluoride into our water supply a few years back, which we couldn't do a damn thing about as much as we tried. So yeah, they're putting fluoride into it. So now, the charge from the council who provides the water, $66.64. You couldn't write that into a script. You couldn't. Fate and destiny, that's just my way of life, you know. What can I do? Fate and destiny. All my life. So anyway, I was going back to this whole concept of Tartaria, because it's really hitting the headlines lately in us truth and movement circles. And I started talking about then the Holy Crusades. What were the Holy Crusades doing? They were taking out the remainders of the people holding the knowledge, the ancient knowledge, from Tartaria. That's pretty much what the witch hunts and shit were all about, now that I can put 2 and 2 together. But then, you know, give me a second. It was an interesting evening out walking tonight. No stars visible. We've had massive bushfires around. So I have to, well, some of mine, of course, dwells on other things. And the biggest thing tonight that it was dwelling upon was Tartaria, Olimaroa, and something that came from my childhood, where we'd be talking about some, whatever you'd call it, Apostles' Creed. Now, if you've been following me for long, you know that the apostles are basically the faithful constellations which circle around the sun as the sun circles around us. as opposed to the heliocentric belief, which says that they circle around the sun as somehow this little ball magically just manages to track them around billions of miles per hour. No. The Apostles' Creed said, trying to think of my words now because I'm not as sober as I've been for this late night sort of rant, you know, just coming home. It was, and that's it. He will come to judge the living and the dead, and his kingdom will have no end. So we know for a fact that Tartaria was the previous kingdom. And the current movement about to come, when he comes again and judges the living and the dead, will have no end. And so, to me, this isn't just about some miracle cure. This is about building a new empire, a new kingdom, something great that has never been seen before in the history of the entire planet Earth. And the reason it will have no end is because it's going to be built from the ground up. Or should I say, the water up. I have talked about this before, but it's probably not a good time to go into great details at this stage. But I've been working out these plans for a very long time. And the plans is to save our waterways. The way you save your waterways is, well, you see where the water falls down the land and where it falls into these creeks and causes all this erosion, and then they allow all the cows or whatever other animals to go and cause all this erosion. Is, well, okay, well, that's where we start. And it's a simple way to start, and the simplest way to start is to start making something permanent, something that stops the animals from just approaching from any old where, causing erosion. I will save this for another rant, but it is basically going to be done by hemp crete, hemp plantings, and of course, not just hemp. A multitude of different sort of plants and herbs and water plants and so forth. But we can easily eradicate the cane toad from Australia eventually. And the only way we do it is then, therefore, by employing people to do this. And this is what every government has come along and says, oh yeah, we're going to give more jobs to the people. We're producing jobs, meanwhile manufacturing plants are getting shut down. Small businesses are going broke. Our government's got it so fucked up that somebody's got to come along and find a solution. Yeah. Now, I'm not here to brag. Not at all. But I certainly have the solution to all of this bullshit that is happening to our nation, while wealthy people are stealing people's properties because they can no longer afford to make payments, while they charge us our whole lives in interest. Oh yeah, I bet it's an interest to them, isn't it? Great interest. No. In the kingdom of Olimaroa, everybody gets everything provided for them, free of charge. Housing, clothing, food, whatever it is you need to survive. There will be no homeless people in Olimaroa. In Olimaroa, people volunteer their time. They actually willfully do way more than the bare minimum 3 hours per day that we request that they volunteer. You will gladly do it because you can see the benefits. You actually love to work, not because you're getting paid for it, but because you're seeing this country rising up out of the ground and seeing the Mother Earth starting to thrive again and be what she should have been all along and will become once again. It's not rocket science. It's from the ground up, from the water up. Once we start looking after our water systems, you know, you will have to look into my other rants I've made before, because I'm not going to go into all the details now. But as soon as I say that, I always do. So here I go again. It's a simple matter. Anywhere you find a cow paddock, that farmer's created a perfect fertile ground for you to let the cattle go to where people that like to eat dead animal flesh, they no longer are necessary. They've created fertile ground. Then you grow hemp, massive paddocks of hemp, and the thicker you plant it, the faster it grows. And what we're really looking for is the hemp herd, the inner part of the stem. Of course, there's plenty of other benefits from other parts. You know, you've got the fibre from the outer part of the stem. You got seeds, which are basically the greatest nutritional seeds on the plain. Let alone the fact you can press them for the oil and make biodiesel to run the tractors and stuff that are going to do all this work, or whatever generators we need to do all this work. But the herd itself, when you mix that with lime and natural raw minerals from the ground, whether it be sand or rock dust, whatever, you can make that into bricks. And these bricks, over time, petrify into stone. That is why we still have all these ancient buildings, because they used the herd of the hemp plant. That is why there's multiple buildings still standing, which we couldn't even come close to building today. We can do greater than shit like that. We could build something greater than the Great Pyramids of Giza, should we wish. I don't see any point myself, but maybe they had good reasons why they did it, and maybe it was to give us free energy. I believe we used to have free energy. I don't see why we should be spending our lives to earn money, to pay for energy, to pay for communication, to pay for food, to pay for accommodation, to pay for clothing, when all these things are given to us freely from the Mother Earth. But I digress. We have to start from the bottom up. And the way we do that is then we start planting these fields with hemp. We gather all the riches. I guess riches would be as good a word as any. As far as I'm concerned, the greatest rich is the most underestimated one, the inner part of the stem. Mix it with lime, mix it with local concrete, or local minerals, rock dust, whatever, and it turns, or you make hempcrete, so you make bricks, and then you start lining our creek banks, and we line them up in a stepped formation, so that the smaller steps are on the inside, and we create bigger steps on the outside, which then prevents animals, children, cows, cane toads, whatever, from approaching into the creeks, the rivers, our water systems. And every year you grow a new crop of hemp. You build it up, and you build it up, and you build it up. And this is how the earth keeps growing. This is how we stay above sea level. Sea level is always rising. This is a well-known fact. Just look at it's getting late for me. You know what it's called anyway. Gondwana land. Let's look at Gondwana land. Apparently once Tasmania and New Guinea were attached to Gondwana land. And no doubt it was once attached to India, possibly Africa, possibly South America. All these continents possibly once connected, which I think was maybe once like a perfect yolk within a cosmic egg. It's another concept I haven't really looked into too much, but it's still worth looking at. Yeah, I forgot my wizard's hat, mate. So, its potential, you know, I've seen some really good videos a few years back now where people show the globe. If the globe shrunk, all the continents fit together perfectly. So what about then if it was an egg yolk and it just got split? And so if you shrink them back together, a flat surface, they'd still fit. To me, it sounds a bit like, you know, something Humpty Dumpty sitting on a wall. Maybe he had a great fall. I don't know. But what can the king's horses and men do to put it back together again? Nothing. Because it was a fucking egg. Sorry, I just stole a Rodney Reed joke there. Mother Goose wouldn't be proud of that one. Where was I? I'm just talking about real situations of how we can start building a new empire from the ground up and giving people real meaningful jobs without necessarily making them have to go on the dole. I'm so sick of being on the dole. It really shits me. That's the only way I can survive at the moment. I work as hard as I can. I'll take whatever work I can find, which is why I'm now a traffic controller. Imagine that. At least somebody's got to do it. But I've got multiple answers for multiple things to solve all the problems. All the problems. Every single problem. Which would eliminate all the taxes, all the debts, all these useless, lazy motherfuckers living in their fucking city apartments, making massive dollars, producing nothing. They produce nothing. And yeah, that's where all the wealth comes from. All the wealth comes directly from the land, from the hard-working, honest people doing their best to provide food, shelter, and nutrition to the wealthy fucking wankers living in their suits, in their apartments, driving fancy cars. Who the fuck do they think they are? Producing nothing but making wealth out of the people who are actually doing something real. Yeah, I've been onto this shit for a long, long time. It's coming to a head. Don't get me wrong. Still want to say that last comment. I'll have to press this little button down here, hidden. My fingers aren't real good at pressing buttons. Okay. Maybe when somebody comments again, I'll see it. Comment again, somebody. Or don't. It's cool. I'll just find a way. Just 13 lakhs. Yeah, you're the man, man. Anything. Oh, shit. Oh, god damn. Get rid of that warning message, would you? Anything is possible except the spinning globe, I guess. Damn straight. Don't get me started on the spinning globe. Okay, get me started. I'm really just like had it with spinning globe believers. Don't get me wrong. I used to be a spinning globe believer. You know, I used to love the spinning globe. I've been writing quite a few comments lately on a few YouTube, whatever you call them, uploads, videos. I've been writing quite a few comments, just trying to get through to whoever. And saying, yeah, I used to love the spinning globe. I used to love it. It was, to me, my spiritual go-to. When I'd get home from school, parents would finally get home, they're tired, cranky, blah, blah. I'd just say, okay, well, I'm just going to go for a walk. I didn't have to walk too far. You know, it was only a couple of blocks up the road to where the beach was, where we lived in a place called Hawke's Nest, near Port Stephens. And then I'd go for another, I don't know, 500 kilometre, whatever, down the road, dirt road, climb the sand hills, sit up the sand hills, and I just sit and watch the sunset all the time. And to me, this is my spiritual retreat. And I could think to myself, as I'm watching the sunset, I live on this spinning ball. And as this spinning ball spins gently away from the sun, I can watch the sun disappearing below the curvature, away from us. I lived that way for years, for decades even. I really did. I used to fully believe it 100% until suddenly it occurred to me. Yeah. How is it possible? How is it possible that this spinning ball could create this illusion or this apparition? I just want to read this comment actually. You have to drop your star for a second. Oh, stay on top, bloody comments. Stop doing that to me. My dreams of upside down walking Chinaman instantly crushed. Hi Ross. Hey. Hey, how you going? I know your real name, but I'll just call you P1000 instead. Glasses don't work when I'm trying to read. I know it's Sandra. I just didn't want to say it out loud in case you didn't want me to. Stay. Oh, I'm not really happy with my camera at the moment. Cool. So, my dreams of upside down walking Chinaman instantly crushed. That's what Wint said. But yeah, they wouldn't be upside down, they'd just be sideways in your spinning ball concept, wouldn't they? I gotta put this down before I make myself dizzy. No, I can't read it. Only 3. Yeah, this whole concept of upside downness actually is, I think, the ball killer. We used to think Australia was the land down under. I'm actually going to do a song on that soon too. But I'm going to not going to do the land down under song. I'm going to do Hey True Blue. I reckon that's a good one, Nick. Santa. Don't call me Satan. I'm on a bit of a bender, okay? You know, I worked my guts out all day today. I was up at like 3:30 this morning, just couldn't go back to sleep. I started at 7 o'clock in the boiling fucking heat of this heat wave we got, where we reached about 42 degrees. So yeah, I'm having a ball. Oh, I hope somebody's wearing headphones for that one. That wasn't one of my best friends. been drinking for 2 days straight, so you can't judge? 2 days. What are you, a fucking amateur? I lost count about 3 years ago. Anyway, let's not talk about that. I was onto something, I'm sure of it. But let's just move on to the next topic. You know, all this stuff about Tartaria and our true history and the Crusades wiping it all out. How about we look at, say, Ollie Morella? Stop laughing. Gosh. Just because comedy is the best thing possible. I should think of a joke, but hang on. See, still got a bit of pop in it. I personally think a lot of people are jumping onto the bandwagon of Tartaria as though it's something new or worthy of talking about. Amy, the gentleman will not answer that. But yeah, I will. No, I used to. Fuck it. I heard something a long time back where just letting nature do its thing, letting it grow, is one of the ways to a higher level of consciousness. So I stopped trimming my pubes as well. Yeah, for those who are really interested. They reach their own level too, and then they sort of seem to stop. I've never had them as I like grow down to my knees or anything. I like my beard. It seems to want to grow down to my knees. I'll let it. I'll see what happens. You know. There's a lot of hypothetical stuff. We just don't know. We can't tell one way or the next. But what I like to do in my personal philosophy is to use my intuition and to keep on reading as much information as I can and absorbing it, and then coming up with the most logical conclusion. And then once you've done that, you put forth a hypothesis. This is what science is all about. You put forth a hypothesis. Yeah, one of them things. Hypothetically speaking. And then the idea then is to do your best to try and debunk it. Debunk. That's my highest philosophical, scientific deduction, is debunk it. If you can't debunk it, then that sort of stands as the latest, greatest, weirdest, queerest potential hypothetical situation until somebody comes along and debunks it. And this is why I'm actually getting a lot of flack lately, because I was the one that came along and said that I sort of thought giants. I need glasses at me. Of course, logic has everything to do with reality. My latest and greatest idea for how the moon came about because it didn't always exist. You know, there's a lot of ancient or evidence, shall we say, that the moon wasn't always there. I'll put these back on so I can read some occasionally. Except everything just is. Don't like wearing them. We'll see how it goes. So, after my many years of reading multiple different things, hypotheses of all different things, hollow earth, flat earth, Tartaria, Hades, you name it. Yeah, you can see on my channel, read those, listen at least, if you can't read the book, The Secret of the Ages. Not so much the last one, the second one and the first one have a lot of information. And it suggests to me that over the millennia of the history of the world, yeah, there's been some very dark forces. Well, I wouldn't say dark. Let's just say satanic. Who have... He was like the mad scientist deep underground where he was banished to. But, you know, I think these gods, play it a bit like a game. And they say, well, you know, let's leave him to his devices. Let's see what he can come up with. Let's see what he can do. And so he came up with these great giant beasts, you know, bioengineered. He said geoengineered, since I used to say that word because of all the shit they do to our sky. But yeah, bioengineered beasts who grew giant, who then were able to mine all this shit and created our moon as we see it. I've never seen a single scientific explanation for why our moon actually exists in the heliocentric model. I've only been on 2 live debates with 2 other geocentric experts, heliocentric experts. And when I put forth that question to them, both of them have a different explanation. One says it's down a gravity well, the other one says it's on a platform. But apart from that, they've got nothing. They've got no explanation for why the moon exists. And so it's the greatest, shall we say, proof of why the heliocentric model is just bunk and the flat earth reality is reality. Excellent. Let me see if I can read these. What's this stuff? Well, what are you trying to say, mate? I can't freaking read it either way with glasses or not. Flat drunks never give a minute's worth of thoughts worth listening to. Well, I've listened to everything that you heliocentrists have had to say. I've pretty much addressed all of them. And I've proven... Why isn't that hanging there? Yeah, well, okay, well, will you give me something? give me something to prove your give me something to prove your heliocentric model, and don't just give me star trails. Give me a real reason why the flat Earth model, as we know it, you always like to say we don't have a model, why it doesn't work. Because I can find a... No, that's not going to hold it either. Slippery table. What do we got next? Hold yourself there. But then every time I hit the button, maybe there's a method. There we go. Drunks never give a minute's worth of thought. It's worth listening to. Chills to deluxe says piss off. Stop. Why can't you fucking stay there? You're drunk again. Try sober, you can focus more than 1 minute. Well, it's fucking hard when the phone itself won't stay there. If I hold a finger on the button, it's annoying, I'll admit. I'm still learning as I go. And the funny thing is, I put out some pretty good videos, I thought, recently. Yeah, never does. What about the fact that I don't have like thousands of dollars to buy equipment? Do pathetic experiments like some people do? The whole point of this rant is, I'm a little bit drunk. And I'm getting drunker. And I tend to get drunker and drunker. But I will still answer any reasonable questions, no matter how drunk I get. So, if you have a reasonable question without accusing me of being drunk, go for it. Oh, well, hit on the last. There we go. Except this other message. Clicks on it. It only gives me the last two descriptions. Let's see. Fucking drunks never give a minute's worth of thoughts worth listening to. So that's basically what you're saying. You're just going to say, because I'm drunk, it's not worth listening to. That's the best you've got. You want me to answer anything about the flat Earth? I do it all the time. I constantly answer anything people address to me as honestly and as best as I can at the time. So maybe there was something earlier that... Why does everyone think logic has anything to do with reality? This is what Flatfish says. Flatfish. Why does everyone think logic has anything to do with reality? Because that's how we discern reality, is with fucking logic, you dumb fuck. Look like you're feeding a nice steak. Oh, ArchimedeanEye. He wants me to eat dead flesh again. Mate, fuck off. I think Samson here has grown a... Oh, for fuck's sakes, why does that fucking message keep coming up? Welcome to live chat. Blah, blah, fucking blah. Why can't it just stay live chat all the time? Ah, this is bullshit. I think Samson here has grown a beard, found a staff, and become enlightened. Flatfish, how about you just, you know, give me a serious question. Don't tell me to eat dead animals. Like, fucking wanker. Calls himself ArchimedeanEye. Okay. I'm good now. What he's got? Why has the outer edge of ice wall never been sighted? ArchimedeanEye. I guess because you've been sitting in your lounge room not investigating shit. Captain Cook spent 3 fucking years investigating the outer edge, looking for a break in the ice wall. And he charted over 60,000 miles without a break. And you know why? Because they don't let find their way through the ice wall. They only let good people through. But eventually they still send good people back. And if you ever look into the story of what's the word again? It's the iron something. The Iron Realm. That's it. Look up the story of Iron Realm. And you'll start to see why. Because they don't want us fucking near as much as Neanderthals past the ice wall. And that is why after the Operation High Jump, Operation Deep Freeze, and several other prevented us from going any further. Explain NLM motions on a flat earth. Very simple. NLM motions. I'm saving that for my next video. NLM is very simply explained. As the sun gets higher from us, it appears to go in a smaller circle because it's further away from us. June 22nd. It comes back down. It crosses the NLM again. That's the equinox. And then because it's so much nearer to us, as we see it go around the south, where we get our hotter, longer summers as we're currently experiencing. December 22nd being the bottom. You northern hemispherians, this is a traditional belief. I can't even read these at the moment because I'm explaining something. I'm getting off my tits too, by the way. As the what's it called again? Sun? That was just a joke. As the sun comes lower on its circle around the equator, it appears to go further south. And so therefore, the sun NLM, if you're viewing it from a fixed position, taking pictures of it all the time, will make it create a bigger circle at the bottom and a smaller circle at the top, with the 2 equinoxes in the middle, an infinite figure 8, because that's just the path the sun always takes all year round, and that's what creates the seasons. The nearer it is to us, the hotter it gets down in the south. The further it goes up, the cooler it gets in the south, and then the north gets there mild sort of summer, but they get a reasonable amount of summer because the direct sunlight is still shining down on them, and it's mostly land mass. In the south, it's mostly ocean, surrounded by this big Antarctic ice wall freezer that keeps the seasons more or less balanced. But down here in the south, we experience way longer, hotter summers. And that is why you can clearly see, just by the nature of the native people, if the sun on a globe created the seasons, then why wouldn't the people further south also naturally get fair skin the way they do in the far north? Because they don't, because the sun is far nearer on a flat plane of Earth. The people in the north get this far northern sun right up until June 22nd. They need to get paler skin to survive, to get enough vitamin D, and those that don't sort of naturally, from natural selection, die out. It's not evolution, it's natural selection and just the way things go. But the further south you go, the darker and darker their skin goes, because the sun gets further and further closer to you. It's just so obvious once you nut it out. I'll have to read some of these comments now because I missed a few. So yeah, flat fish, explain any lemma. Good, I just did. How is it that possible at all this time and travel? That makes no sense. So the map of the Antarctic continent is all a ruse. Yes. So Admiral Byrd was onto it. Yeah. And they let him talk about it on the live telescreen. He talked about another continent beyond Antarctica, mate. I think that probably is why they took him out, actually. Just look at the circumnavigators, every one of them knighted every one of their websites. Circumnavigation. It is a joke. So this is like a real Truman Show that we were told there was nowhere to go. So, no ArchimedeanEye. Not at all. There is lands beyond Antarctica. We just can't go there. But, you know, just like Truman couldn't go beyond the boundaries of his little town or island, or whatever he was put on. Cool, bro. That was about as much as I could expect from a drunk who taught you to repeat fairy tales. I said explain the motions, not your whacked out favourite butt of theory. Mate, once you get beyond the fucking idiotic motion concept on the spinning ball, what have you got left? It's flat earth theories. You know, once you understand it's a flat earth theory, or flat earth reality, there's nothing left. You were told nothing outside of vacuum, but yeah, who told you that? Was it a flat earther? Did the flat earther tell you there's a vacuum out there? No. The flat earth reality that we live upon says we live upon the only physical plane at the very bottom of the universe. Once you sink that into your head and realize we're not moving, you might start to understand where flat earthers are coming from. Nobody really gives a shit at this stage about the fucking ice wall, okay? The ice wall is what it is. It's irrelevant. If you want to go to the ice wall, you want to go and fucking hire a ship and go and see something that you can't penetrate through, and hire a team to try and climb over mountains that can't be climbed, and get over the other side and find something that there's nowhere really to go to. Knock your fucking self out. But flat earthers are not really interested. We're just interested in understanding the true nature of this world that we do know, where we do live, where things that we can do without going towards extremes to try and appease fucking globe worlders who have never done it. Admiral Byrd spent 30 years exploring Antarctica before he decided he found, or announced he found, another continent beyond Antarctica, the size of the USA. And 2 years later he's dead. This is the reality we live in. We can't go beyond the Antarctic ice wall. So let's try and deal with what we got here in reality, where the water is always level and the earth is everything that is measurably above sea level, where we live. No spinning, no bullshit. God. Now, stay there, would you? Come on. Now, has nobody in modern times not found the ice wall when travelling in any one of these directions? No, because they don't. They travel from fucking hell. Continent to continent, okay? They continent hop. They don't look. Your best answer yet is what it is. You drunk fool. Thank you, mate. The ice wall is irrelevant because you have no proof. Zero proof. So fish you believe in bendy water. Yeah, that's exactly right. Except tales from Captain Cook. Amongst others. 60,000 miles around the Antarctic ice wall. I think that says something when you think the equator is only 25,000 miles. Of course it bends. There's a water droplet curve. Do we live on a water droplet? Wanker. Oh, there we go. History is a lie, but Captain Cook. Yes, of course history is a lie. Even Captain Cook's history was bullshitted about. 100%. That's why we've had to work it out for ourselves. Fuck, I think that's the empty one. Because the people that pursue truth and look for true history, I mean, Captain Cook, what was he, like 200, 220 years or something, 230 years ago, whatever he was, and he went mentally insane. He literally spent 3 years circling Antarctica, and he lost the plot. He totally lost it. He was looking for what we call the Great Southern Land. Now, here in Australia now, we have these people saying, oh, we've got this song, Great Southern Land, dee-doo, you walk upside down. There's not a single incident that anybody's ever shown of anybody ever walking upside down on the bottom of a ball. But heliocentrists, people that believe we live on a planet, think that's just normal. That's why they say, we come from the land down under. It's absolute bullshit. We're not down under. We're just a crossover. Yeah, well, they fabricated everything about Captain Cook. He was one of the greatest explorers of the, how shall we call it, English aristocracy. That sent a lot of undesirables to my country. Holy Moroa, who was known for 200 years before he even came close as New Holland, because well, we call them Dutch now, but they were basically Vikings. They'd already discovered the west coast, and what they found is that the Australian people weren't interested in trading. They had nothing of value. They had nothing of interest. And when they searched a bit inland, all they found was it was just desert region. And so they said, yeah, this place is not worth discovering anymore or researching anymore. This is New Holland, what we now call Australia. When Captain Cook discovered it, he pretty much discovered the same thing, but he found the east coast and mapped the east coast for the first time, looking for the Great Southern Land, the fabled Great Southern Land beyond Antarctica. But because the English are such motherfucking pricks who tried to take over every land, and found that there's opposition nearly everywhere, what they found in Australia, or New South Wales, or all the different names they gave it, is there was very little opposition, and they declared it terra nullius. The fucking pricks. While in this nation, this continent of over 50, as many as 500 nations of people living here, free people on the land, who had their own laws, their own language, their own ways of being. The English declared it terra nullius. And they came in and they wiped them all out. And I'm really fucking pissed off about that. I can't fucking read through glasses, and I can't see if I've got a message without them. How good's that? Hang on. 100% Captain Cook was a hoax. Flat Earth people cite him as proof of sailing around Antarctica. The southern flights don't work on the flat plane maps unless you believe planes travel at super special. Ah, God. Thanks, Flatfish. The only way to do it is when you're drunk. Because how else can you get the truth out? Conquering may not be fair. This is ArchimedeanEye. Conquering may not be fair, but it is nature at work. You're like a fucking ant, and saying that it's all cruel for an ant colony to take over the next ant colony and turn those fucking ants into ant slaves. Yeah. There's nothing right about that. There's nothing right about that, mate. Nature does not do it fair. So you're just saying we should follow what ants do. Us, intelligent human creatures, children of God, should just do what ants do. Is that really your stance, ArchimedeanEye? Fish eat other fish. So people should eat other people. Is this what you're trying to say? Fish should eat. People should just eat other people. That to you is just normal, natural, and right. Therefore, we should kill them and eat them. Is this what I hear you saying? And violence will always end if push comes to shove. I disagree. I disagree. The frunk rant. Oh, shit. I'm the drunk, and you can only spell it frunk. Get fucked. Fisheye. I'm just trying to drink this one as fast as I can so I can get another one. Cold out of the fridge. No, you don't eat weaker species. You support weaker species to survive in their own right so that we can grow the correct food for what we should be eating as divine living children of the Mother Earth and the Father Son. How dare we take advantage? The first law says, honour thy earthly father, earthly mother, and thy heavenly Father. And the second law says, destroy not that which your heavenly Father has created. We are given green-leafed herbs and seed-bearing fruits to eat. How dare you think taking life is going to give you life? That is just the most moronic thing I've ever heard. Yeah, if you want to eat shit, eat shit. You are what you eat. You eat living food, you become the living person. You want to eat shit? Then you are shit. It's completely up to you. It's your choice. You know. Eat death, be death. Eat life, be life. You don't have to kill a plant to extract the living essence from it. In fact, plucking a leaf off a plant only encourages it to become stronger. Pluck a leg off a cow or pig. God. I'm talking to a fucking moron here. A man who thinks that eating death is actually going to make him stronger. Come on, tell me when was the last time you plucked a leg off a cow or, you know, somebody's rump and ate it, that it enhanced life. Eating dead flesh is not eating dead flesh. Let's just give me a litmus test for how drunk I am. That one's dead. Oh, that one had some. Nothing in that. I won't throw it over there because no point even looking at that one. This is my fresh one. And that's after coming from the pub. I had a pint of Guinness and took a long neck on the way home. And another long neck after I got home. No, I'm not drunk. Because no matter how much I drink, it just enhances. The ethanol is not an intoxicator to me. Ethanol is the giver of life. Oh, shit, there's so many comments trying to show up now. I'm just going to go back to that one. Chillstar. So you're not that drunk. No, mate. I'm never that drunk. If I'm capable of holding the phone and making a video, I might be a little bit intoxicated. I was before I got home, before I went on this fucking long walk down the road, but hey, I'm never drunk. I'm always with it. ArchimedeanEye, eating meth is not eating death, lol. See, this is what pisses me off, is that idiots don't understand the difference between life and death. Flesh is death. Simple as that. You want to eat meat? What you put into your body is death. You know. No judgment. Chillstar, what things do you eat that's still alive? Oh, mate. Everything salad and vegetable is still alive. Sprouted seeds are still alive. But anything vegetable-wise, even if you do kill them with heat and so forth, you're still getting that slight amount of life from them. But the main thing is breathe the air. If you live in a place full of pollution and noise and whatnot, you're missing out on life. You have to try and find those quiet places, the forest, the ocean. That's where life is. ArchimedeanEye, there's much more evidence of meat healing and being beneficial than Captain... Oh, come on, Archimedean. I think you remind me of someone I know, Gabriel the architect. That's who I can think of. You sound like a fucking idiot. When did you last pull a carrot out and grow another one? Oh, that's a good one, flatfish. Actually, the last time I pulled out one of the most, how should we call it? Mouldy and angry, dying carrots. You can still cut the top off that, sit it into a little jar lid, that's how I usually do it, of water, and it will still grow. It is still alive. It still has some prana, some living essence within it. No matter how ugly and bad it looks. You try doing that with, a cow knocked over on the side of the road, as I saw today, with its legs sticking out, all bloated and shit. You try taking one of those legs and go and planting it and see if you can grow another cow. Case closed, motherfucker. Not that you're a motherfucker, of course. I'm sure your mum's like unfuckable. Oh, did I say that out loud? Shit. Carrots are still alive, yes, Archimedean, that's what I just said, yep. You try it yourself, cut the top off, put it in a jar lid of water, soak it for a couple of days, put it in the ground. Mark Swarbrick, you're my man, mate. I love you, bro. Fat. I always call it fat fish. I guess it must be a fat fish because somebody with so much fat in their brain would talk like that. Death tastes good on a barbecue. Yes, mate, it does. You enjoy it. Get more death into you. Good for you. You want to create your own rules, says ArchimedeanEye, in nature. It's your own Pereros. I don't create my own rules. I'm following the natural rules as I learn them. I've learnt natural rules. Just deluxe. I was asking them, not Josh. Sorry, Chilst. Oh, mate. Sorry. Asking them, not you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Chilster, you're a chill dude. I'm really slow here because, like to get more beer and shit. I wonder if other animals in nature sit around getting shit-faced trying to rewrite the rules of nature. Maybe not Roscoe. Yeah, oh, that's a good point, ArchimedeanEye. I will give you that. Do you see me sitting around here writing the rules of nature? No. Just understanding and observing the laws of nature as written in my blood. Do you want to have a look? The laws are written in my blood, brother. So let's see what else you had to say. If you grew another carrot, I might have to scan through some of these. Tuesday Deluxe. Fuck. See, that's what happens. I start reading through comments. I get a little bit bogged down. But I still have a little bit within me. For fuck's sake, from this far away. Love you both, blokes. Just the Deluxe and Mark. Actually, a couple of awesome human beings. So now that the Russia's chilled down, maybe it's time to start talking about some serious shit. Just trying to quieten down the 80 billion different things in my head. The latest one that's popped up again is the moon. The moon kind of infuriates me in a way because a lot of flat earthers get offside with each other when it comes down to the moon. And I'd just like to say once and for all that when it comes to the moon, please stop believing false ideas about the moon. The moon does not produce its own light. It is hovering around above us, reflecting sunlight. For fuck's sake. How can I miss all these new comments? Probably because I just miss them for a reason. The moon does not produce its own light. It reflects sunlight, or a better word would be absorbs sunlight as it goes around on its daily path roughly 50 minutes later than the sun does. It's a shame that such a simple matter could come between so many flat earthers. I think I should talk about something else, which I will quickly find because whatever is there. Oh, the moon is made of cheese, is it, Mr. Archimedes? Now, where did this cheese come from? Some of these bovine animals that you had too many of because you couldn't eat them fast enough? What a stupid comment. I mean, for fuck's sakes, you know. A lot of you globe earthers do occasionally come out with a reasonably intelligent comment. But most of the time you just speak a lot of shit. And so why do you speak a lot of shit? That's because it's to cover up the fact that you're full of shit. ArchimedeanEye Say something intelligent for once. Just one thing. It's not full of shit. I can wait. In the meantime, I'll hit that little button again. Might help. No. I hit on all messages are hidden and now it says chat. For fuck's sakes. I just love the way, technology works so well if your fingers work. My fingers are like fucking tree trunks. You don't want to run into them. How's the entire satellite industry faked? Okay, well that's a nice question. How is it faked? It's not faked. They just send them up on helium balloons, suspend them in the air, where they hover above the stationary plane. Any more questions? Watching a drunk try to use a phone is hilarious. Don't shout off my head out. Yeah, well, they make them for little fucking Chinese fingers. Mine don't actually work, and yeah, I've got a broken screen. What is the process by which all the companies and all the suppliers and contractors fake what they design and build? Who says they're faking it? It still works. It's fine. It just works above the flat stationary plane of Earth. Who says they're faking it? No flat earther says that. We just say that, because everything is compartmentalized, that, what one person thinks they're doing and another person thinks they're doing, they make it to fit the agenda. It doesn't orbit. It fucking goes up and it hangs there, dickhead. God. Jesus. Fucking. Don't make me blaspheme myself. If I sit back here for a while and chill, somebody will have a sensible question. Oh, hang on. Oh, hold it. Come on. Hold it there. Let me see it. Let me read it. Which I cannot do with my glasses on. And so they load satellites into rockets and launch them where? Or the satellites all fake, or the rockets. Okay, well, like you expect me to know all the answers. Okay then, well yeah I do. The rockets are fake. The satellites are all launched from helium fucking balloons. As you can see, if you decide to do a simple bit of research and watch how they're launched up on the back of a helium balloon. We call them weather balloons. And if one of them ever crashes down to Earth, well, it's probably because the helium balloon crashed. There's no rockets into space, you fucking moron. This is the weirdest question I've ever heard. Give me a real question. I can wait. I'll sit here and I'll press the button when somebody asks a real question. Fuck. Yeah, see, this is what happens. Is it? Because they're also indoctrinated. Do they all lie? Not necessarily. Well, you're the one asking they. You tell me who they is in the first place, then ask me if they all lie. God, that's a ridiculous question with a ridiculous follow-up. You obviously know who they are if you're asking the question in the first place. You're the worst flatfish I've ever seen. Come on. Give me a real question, motherfucker. Even my staff are getting tired. Oh. No answer? I gave you the answer. Nobody's lying. Everybody's telling the truth. They're just giving a good deception. Here we go. So companies like Foxtel and Telstra are all in on the scam too. Motherfucker, haven't you noticed? Even around here, where I live, they're constantly building towers. Transmission towers. Everything GPS is ground positioning system. GPS. Blah, blah, blah. Ground positioning. Not global. Ground. It all comes from the ground. Tower to tower to tower. And it's done like that. Because basically just radio signals. As it's always been. Even satellite phones that we had in the old days. I'm still just radio transmission. Let's see what other bullshit I just missed there. Oh yeah, they looked at. Well, why the fuck would they be installing underground cables from house to house if it could all just be done via satellite? Why not just have a big satellite up there and do that? But nah. The NBN are installing underground cables, just as the entire world does. Undersea cables. Transmission towers. Why would you be building more and more and more fucking towers if satellites could do it? Yeah. And I love it when I see comments because it gives me something to talk about. Of course I do. Ground ArchimedeanEye, ground positioning system. I have multiple evidence for that. And the biggest one was when let's go back, how long now? So my daughter's like nearly 20. We're going back like 15 years ago at least, when my father-in-law, who was a merchant sea captain, told me that is how all navigation is done, is a GPS. He was the first one to tell me, and I thought he's insane, but eventually I came to my senses. He was the first one to tell me that the earth is flat. And I said, what? What the are you talking about? He says, yeah. After all his years as in a lifetime of a sea captain of merchant sea ships, says the earth is flat. I fully believe the earth is flat. I just looked at him like, you're fucking insane. But he says, no, all navigation is done by GPS. And I said, well, what's that? He says, it's ground positioning system. All sea merchant routes are done up and down coastlines. None of them go across vast open seas. It's too dangerous. It's too stupid. You never do that. You follow as close to the coastline as is possible via navigation. You know, where you know certain hazards might be, so you go beyond the continental shelf, and that's how they navigate. They don't ever go beyond the known limits of the safety of the GPS, the ground positioning system. I have it straight from the horse's mouth. You know, if he hadn't have told me, I would never have believed it. But he told me. He was a professional. Let me read a couple more of these, potentially, who knows what now. This is Max Egan level of paranoia. Ah, don't insult me, Archimedean. Come on. Max Egan blocked me as well. He deleted a lot of my comments. I'm way beyond and above Mr. Max. In fact, there was another Max that I ran into the other day. Maybe I shouldn't tell that story, but fuck it, I'm drunk. He kept mouthing off. So I said, okay, cunt, let's just go out and we'll fucking settle this out the back here. He eventually shut the fuck up. I don't put up with shit, okay? I will entertain, you know, I'm an entertainer of other people's bullshit. But I won't put up with constant bullshit that is aggressive. Okay? Just bear that in mind while all these frickin' comments disappear that I'm too drunk to read. Subs and blenders. Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay. Sorry for dropping the phone there. I try to keep my stupid drunken rants reasonably straight and strong. I'm almost tempted to grab the guitar out and sing a song, actually. It is only Wednesday night, I think. Just remember, I am straight and strong. I don't put up with shit from fucking idiots, okay? It's pretty much my story. I've put up with a lot of shit from a lot of people. But I have a good staff. And I love my friends and good people. And good people who are at least open-minded to the truth. Yeah. If you're not, it's still okay. I'll still tolerate you. I don't mind. If you want to be my enemy, come and meet my star. I'll just let that rest over there for now. I've done a good job. Hey, I'm trying to read that. Oh, fuck. Hell. Sorry, Mark. I was just trying to read that and I deleted it. All I'm trying to do is fucking read it. I guess I made a bad delete, mate. Wasn't deliberate. Believe me, I hate censorship. I hate censorship more than anything. That's my biggest pet hate. Whatever I just did then while trying to use my fat fingers to read. Hang on, it says view lead message. Rough logic high, I like your read, but couldn't think of a clever response. Okay, cheers, Mark. Yeah. Your comments remembered now. I just don't understand this fucking logic of YouTube, what it says. I keep clicking yes, all messages visible. But then they just disappear too fast. Why the fuck did they disappear? Come on. What the fuck is this? NASA is censoring us from flat Earth truth bro. ArchimedeanEye. Fucking stop disappearing. Boeing are censoring us from flat Earth truth. You know what, ArchimedeanEye? You're obviously some sort of military shill. Not necessarily paid. But you got nothing better than do than to just sit here and do this shit in your spare time. So knock yourself out, cunt. I mean, if you can't do something other than have a life. You know? I don't give a shit about NASA, Boeing, and all the rest. You know? I know this stuff has been going on for a long, long time. And I think the people have had enough. We want our free energy back. Lockheed Martin, Airbus. Come on, keep throwing them at it. Keep throwing them at us. We, the people, Admiral Byrd was killed because of what he knew. That's something we could probably agree on. He wasn't the first. And it's still happening. God. I mean, for fuck's sake. You know, when people see me killed, which I know is inevitable. I know it's inevitable. It's because I know too much, and I speak up for it, and I'll speak the truth about the reality of what is going on. I accept that is going to happen, just as any and every other king has ever had to do. There's another one. The kingdom of Ollie Morella will have no end. Mark my words. I'm going to keep this live stream going. Only because I need to get fresh beer. In the meantime. I'll be back. really needed that. I'm trying to think of where I was at. There's still people watching? Gosh. Hope that didn't hurt their ears. Must be a celebration. Which means I must still have something. I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to say, but it will come out, because that's what I do if I just start talking. There are lots of distractions. Multiple distractions all around us. But I think what it boils down to is that we, the people, just want to live our lives. We're sick of these fees and fines and taxes and blah, blah, fucking blah all over us. We've had a fucking enough. And that is why, basically now, you've got these movements like in France, the yellow coats or yellow vests. They're not yellow, no, they're fluoro. They're trying to prove themselves. I really don't have an easy time reading on this little phone. Even if I put my glasses on, I still have to bring it up. So, I will read your comment shortly. My apologies. We've had enough of the system that we've been having to endure. Okay, I'll quickly read these comments and then get back to my thing. Okay, it looks like I've got a couple of trending people here. Okay, so let's talk about tax. Let's talk about tax, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about tax. Tax. Fucking tax. Fucking tax. On everything we do, every move we make. I'll be watching you. That's pretty much the whole fucking tax system and the whole monetary system from the ground up is just designed to, rather than give you value for the gold you produced, no, what they're going to give you what they're going to give you do, yeah, let's do that. Let's do the Scooby-Doo, Gibby-Doo. That's what they give you is just a fucking little token for your time and your effort and your labour, which is basically an imprisonment system, an enslavement system. How do you make slaves comply? Well, slaves often rebel. So how do we stop them from rebelling is we say, let's just, well, we'll give them housing, we'll give them clothing, we'll give them better conditions, and then our slaves will stop rebelling. And then eventually the slaves stop rebelling. And then over a period of time, they say, well, how about we stop giving them clothing? Or how about we stop giving them whatever it is they need. So what is it that we need? Oh, we just need clothing, housing, power, food. So the best way to control a slave is by controlling their basic requirements. And by making them so hard to control, it's banned. Now you've got a controlled enslaved system who will basically just fight over each other for whatever job comes up. Oh, I want that job better than him. I'm more qualified. I want it. I really love my slavitude. And we battle over each other for it. And then we tell each other, oh, you're not a very good slave. You're not earning nearly as much as me. I'm a way better slave than you. You're a useless piece of slavery. And somehow that makes that slave better than you. This is the system we're living in. This is the system. That I've had a fucking enough of. I've just had a fucking enough. You can see the blips coming up on the screen, but God, I've got to read up. Somebody looked as though they actually left a decent one there. It was long. Born free, taxed to death. Yes, Mark. You're my man. Somebody gets it. Rough logic. Nobody's in on anything. Did you watch the NASA control room when they put the rover on Mars? Oh, come on. For fuck's sake. Where's the thing to keep it? They watch the monitors in front of them. Nothing to fake or hide. Very few are in on anything. Well, rough logic. That is fucking rough as cunt. I mean, rough as the sand for one. Oh, god damn. Did I say that out loud? So we've got Rough Logic and ArchimedeanEye basically being the trolls of this conversation, which I couldn't be bothered responding to. All I see is oh shit. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put them out. All I'm doing here is trying to talk about some serious shit. Get distracted. Distracted by trolls constantly. Fucking trolls. All the fucking time. Trolls, trolls, trolls. I got nothing. I'm sure that would be ArchimedeanEye again trolling. Let me put that fucking cunt. Hang on. Mitsubishi Electric have 6 different satellite categories, over 20 different programs since 1960, and you reckon nobody's in it. Let's just remove this cunt. Let me see if put user in timeout. Wow, I've never done that to anybody ever before. So Archimedean, you're the first. Stop fucking trolling my channel, would you, cunt? I'm trying to be somewhere in a headspace where I'm talking about something serious. Where we can do something serious. Something really big. And the only way you can do this is on the underground. You can't announce it. You can't say, oh, yeah, wait, in Australia, we're just going to have a yellow vest gathering. You get 19 people. Australians are very, very but we're very, very seriously pissed off. That's the thing that gets to me. Holy shit. Hang on a sec. Fuck. That one won't work. The camera's about to die. Some idiot must have punched it out at one stage and it's got no battery. Right, where were we? Who's this guy? Rough Logic. Jesus. No, I ain't fucking... I mean... I ain't. Good Lord Jesus Christ. He came when his due time was... That won't work to hold it either. Gosh. Yeah, even though I use occasionally Jesus in some of my titles, I am not Jesus. Yeah, I just think it's a cool name to use occasionally. He was one of the most enlightened masters that we have in our recorded history. Of course, he said himself, that all men will come to do as he has done, and more. And so naturally, an enlightened person like myself will take that under his belt, so to speak, and say, well, if he can do it, we can do it. And this is the return of the Christ. The return of the Christ it is not an individual human. It is the return of Christ consciousness to all those ready and capable to accept it. And very few are able. Many are called, but few are chosen. Well, I'll read this one because it's got like lots of letters in it, and they fade so quickly. How long did it take you to grow that beard? Well, it took as long to grow that beard as it took to grow it. So now we know you cannot handle facts and truth when it comes to confronting the scale of the lies needed for your theories to be true. What the fuck? There's not even a single thing in that. I just want to read that out loud again, for fuck's sake. ArchimedeanEye says, so now we know you cannot handle facts and truth. Oh, for fuck's sakes. When it comes to confronting the scale of the lies needed for your theories to be true. That's your belief, is it, mate? Oh. Why? Hang on. Maybe if I hold my finger down here. No. Not working. What the fuck is going on? Oh shit. And reconnecting. I really apologise for that. I swore too much. Swore too much. What was I trying to do? You cannot handle it and have not explained how a company the size of Mitsubishi that have been pushing satellites. Is that how long we've gone back? Don't make me click on that and learn more fucking thing again. For fuck's sakes. So ArchimedeanEye says, I got nothing. Mitsubishi. Yeah, we drive around in a fucking internal combustion engine. Do you think that's the height of Tell us how, hang on. Russia, USA, Japan, China, Germany, and all work together to push the flat earth lie. Okay, well that's a good question. They don't. They're basically all indoctrinated with the same basic shit. And I think they all have, what they call it, several... Can't remember what it's called. Some sort of, yeah, 7-shaped piece of shit in their emblems. And I think basically they're all under the same rule of thumb that says we're not happy with Tartaria giving the people free energy, good lives. Let's have some crusades. Let's pull out some new bullshit fucking history. And just tell them, well, this is how it is. We go around the sun. And you know what? Indoctrinated people will fall for that. Fucking missed another story. How do the top 10 satellite manufacturers remain profitable? Profitable. There's your key. They employ hundreds of thousands of people globally for designing, engineering, and building fake machines. Well, I'll tell you what. If you can tell me for 1 second how a single one of these fucking machines can keep up with your heliocentric model of Earth, I guess I'd well, there's no point betting, is there? No matter how much I'd like a nice gobby, I won't take it from a fucking poofter. The Earth spinning on its axis at 1,040 miles per hour. It's travelling around this sun 93 million miles away. It's 66,600 miles per hour. Our greatest jets that we have, or our normal jets. Let's just look at our normal jets. 500 miles per hour. Tell me again how they're keeping up with this 66,000 miles per hour. Just tell me again, in plain English, how they're keeping up with that. And don't just tell me, the void of space means that there's no friction, so therefore, blah, they just do. You think I'm going to accept that as a real answer? Heliocentrism is bust. Where's your answer? Oh, you're all pushed off. Pushed off. Pushed off. Pissed off like little pussies. You got no answer. And I don't even have to stand up. Let me have a quick look at these last little piss answers. Oh, the last one. Like any illegal corporation, you must squander the extra production, the best minds, and ideas, and get absorbed. Turns out rough like logic is a flat earther after all. This is what happens. When you keep pursuing the truth prevails. Flat earther like myself will always prevail. I guess it's time. Oh, hang on. I think I saw that one before. I guess this comes to the end of a drunken rant. I guess maybe I did hit a point where I did hit a wall. Because nobody can ask me any question that I cannot answer. No matter how drunk I get. Or I don't even call it drunk. I just call it lubricated. My natural tonics lubricate my mind. Ask me something serious, like how long does it take to grow your beard? Come on. Get serious. Or get the fuck out.